All right, people, welcome back. Second half of Real Tough Talk. We get to the second part of the show. We want to thank y'all guys for returning back with us on this second part of Real Tough Talk. Stephen J, Lou the Shooter, Ghost, and we're gonna go over we're gonna finish up the last two games. This game we're going over is UTF versus Monarchs. Now, let me tell you something. These two teams don't like each other. They really don't. They met in the last Final Four 2 years in a row. As Monarchs was able to beat UTF last season in double overtime, but the year before UTF was able to beat Monarchs and get to a championship and win. So both teams that won this game actually won the championship. But the rivalry is a little different now because Jeremy's been traded. He goes to Don't Sleep. Buto goes to Rep City. Kaka and Brown goes to they went to DG. Randy went to DG. So several of the players, Juice is still a free agent. So several of the players that played on this team last year is no longer with this team. Now, Lou and Ghost, give me both your perspective on how the rivalry is different now that the YMM core is no longer a part of UTF.
I
You
mean,
just said it.
honestly, yeah, I'm gonna say it right out the bat. This is no rivalry
Nope.
because UTF is a completely different team. They don't have absolutely nobody that they had in that championship squad.
One. They got one player.
Yeah, one player. Who was that player?
Pito.
Pito.
Exactly. That's it. And
That's
he
it.
was, and he's retro UTF. So that's unchanging. Other than that, everybody else is different. Will comes back, who was a original UTF player. So a lot of these guys are new. Pretty much, they're not the same team. Mamba's gone, like you said. Jeremy's gone. Kaka and Brown is gone. All of these guys, Buto's gone. Everybody's gone. So this is a new team. So this is not really a rivalry anymore. This is just UTF reestablishing themselves pretty much as a new team. And we got to see how effective they can be with the new squad that they have.
Same question, Lou.
Well, like I said, different team. Now, remember, part of last year's rivalry as well was what happened with the Damo situation. So like Go said, all those dudes are basically gone. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole new ball game. Hopefully there'll be a new rivalry to start.
Now, Monarchs is coming in. They're the UFL champions. They're gonna have everybody know week one in the UFL the following season is like a ring ceremony. You can see them getting their championship portrait as it goes to showing you now. They get to take a picture with the portrait here. And you get the other than the check and the money or whatever, all that stuff you get from winning the championship. I think this kind of get you re-engaged to now the next journey to going back to a championship. That as well as when the championship video drop. These are things that get you pumped up and prepared to go to the next season, to finish this season. Now you got this game where there is no Alex, there is no Tanner, there is no Matrix. So all of their draft picks won't make the game. But they got Ramsey back, the reigning quarterback of the year, a guy that everybody thought that was going to retire. He was contemplating retiring. He's back. So I think that's very important because they needed him back and they get Damo back. So it's like making an off-season trade by getting Damo back because they lost Damo last season. But they bring back Will. You see Bell here, Benny, Mike. So they brought back a lot of the core guys to the team. And Javon is back. He's fine. He's healthy. He got hurt last year. So I would say on that aspect that this team is dangerous and they're still the team to beat. Now, on the other hand, UTF, they in the first, they got Jeremy. Jeremy moved on. They traded Jeremy for Henry. They brought Henry in. They drafted Kai in the third round at number 3. I mean, in the third round at number 5. They traded for Sal. They traded Akon for Sal. So they got all new A players on this team from the draft. And now Mimi's the starting quarterback. What is your thoughts personally, before we get to the game, Lou, on Mimi being the new starting quarterback, replacing a championship quarterback in Germany?
It's a tough one. The one thing definitely Jeremy's the better quarterback. You know what I'm saying? As far as arm strength and stuff like that. But Mimi's no slouch for the, you know what I'm saying, to keep it a buck. The thing with Mimi is, you know, that hurry up offense may not, it's going to take the new guys some time to get used to. You know what I'm saying? And can he not have as many mental breakdowns in a game? That's what's going to be big for them. You know, he could run a little, you know what I'm saying? The no look, you got to get used to that as well. So it's two different quarterbacks as far as style wise.
Ghost, Sal is not here for UTF, but how big of an impact does Henry and Kai have to make as they're coming in? And they remember, UTF already won a championship, so now they're supposed to sit on the throne and sit down and try to get them back to where they're trying to get to, which is why Mike made this trade. How important does all three draft picks, especially the two here today, are to this team getting back to the championship?
I mean, it's going to be vital because, like I said, this is a new team. So they're going to need guys that they can feed, they can pull their energy from. Because one thing about Jeremy and all of these guys, they were guys that were full of energy. And you have to find a way to gather that back. You have to have an energy that's going to be focused and amp the team up and get them energized throughout the game. So they have to find that. And certainly the A players that they have to be one of the ones to be catalysts for that with Henry and Kai. They got to be the ones to find a way to, you know, lead by example. Not to say that everything has to be on their shoulders, but, you know, obviously their play is going to be a motivator for everybody else and vice versa. So guys got to just know how to play together, knowing that people are here to fill a role and just get things done. They just got to find their sense and find out how they're going to move forward this season.
All right, we're going to jump into the game for UTF. Like I said, you're going to have Henry and you're going to have Kai both here. Sal will not be here. And for the Monarchs, you're going to have none of their A players, as in Alex, Tanner, and Matrix will make the game. We're going to have to see how that turns out. Ramsey gets the ball back for the Monarchs. Ramsey throws the bell on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first down. If you look here, Nas is watching the quarterback. Now, I understand that you're watching him because Ramsey can run the ball, but I'm more worried about Ramsey's arm than his legs, and he makes Nas pay here. Second down, Ramsey with blocking from Will, rolls left, throws to Malachi, and the back of the end zone, knocked away by Henry. Now, this is why they got Henry. Henry's one of the arguably most dangerous defensive player in the league. And Malachi is another guy, especially with the A players not here, who has to be expected to step up. And that's a great play by Henry there. Third down, Ramsey on four rush, rolls right, throws to Malachi in the back of the end zone. Again, high and drop. Monarchs have to punt, and Damo is flagged 15 yards for cursing. That is not the way to start the drive if you're the defending champ, but that's exactly how you want to start. If the UTF goes, that is a great stop by this defense.
And obviously the cursing is what forced them to end up punting, because that 15 yards back no longer gives them scoring range. So they have to obviously they don't have an attempt to get in the end zone. But that drop by Kai, that was technically a touchdown pass that he dropped. And he's complaining that the pass was too high. Listen, it's right in your hands, and it went right through his hands. Now, Lou, you see plays where guys, reach out and it's way too high and they scrape their fingers and whatever.
Right.
It's a high play. This was not that. This was right in his hands. And with Malachi's wingspan, this should be an easy touchdown catch. That's unfortunate that he lets it go right through his fingers, and that leads to them punching the ball.
Well, the one thing with that play, like you said, it was slightly high, but he barely jumped.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's frustrated from not holding on to the previous one that Henry that was an excellent defensive play by Henry.
Yeah.
Henry went straight for the ball,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he was frustrated about that, because when I saw the play, I'm like, what the heck is he mad about? You dropped it.
Yeah.
All right, Mimi gets the ball back to start for this UTF this season. Mimi with 2 short passes for a decent game. Third down, Mimi throws to Henry in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first down. Henry has to be Mimi's go-to guy. He has to be his number 1 receiver, and he's going to him there. Third down, after 2 short passes, Mimi with blocker from Pito throws to Mills in the front of the end zone, knocked away by Timmy. Fourth and goal, Mimi is blitzed by Benny. Throws to Henry in the back of the end zone. Incomplete turnover on downs. If you look here, Henry gets caught not looking on his route. Now, Real quick, Lou, what I like about this is that they blitz in Benny. They go with speed, and Benny comes in. We didn't really see Benny blitz last year. They come up with a different package. They put the pressure on Mimi. He looks for Henry, but Henry is not looking. Henry has to know he is the guy that Mimi is going to rely on. He doesn't connect with him here. I think that got to be on Henry.
Well, and then you see Benny's fast, so he's gonna get to the quarterback much quicker than someone else. Yeah, and Henry has to be aware of the play. Now, I would say Henry and Kai would be his main go-to because Kai's to me is a better route runner.
All right, Ramsey get the ball back. On second down, he throws the bell on the sideline for a decent gain. Third down, Ramsey throws deep to Javon open on the sideline, who runs it to the 3-yard line. First down. 2 defenders stay short, watching the quarterback, and no one picks up Javon. Now, you gotta admit, Ghost, Ramsey is excited and happy to have Javon back this season. Javon got hurt last year, so having him back is huge here. He is going to be the key, especially once Alex comes back. To have these 2 targets in the middle is going to cause a lot of problems. We've seen what Alex do on Super Friends with Dave in the middle with him. These 2 are going to be definitely weapons. But 2 defenders watching Ramsey who can run the ball. I think they're favoring him running too much. I'm more scared of his arm. He makes him pay right here. First and goal, Ramsey finds Javon in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Javon gets the extra point. 7-0. I love the fact that Ramsey is going for him. He got him down the field for why not let him cash that check. 7-0, Lou, they score.
Well, I was a Ramsey hater for most of the last season. He's coming out smoking, and UTF defense playing a little shaky right now because, like you said on that Javon catch, the linebackers was looking, and there was a little miscommunication with the safety in the corner. So they need to get it together.
Yeah.
All right, Mimi gets the ball back. Second down after getting the first. Mimi throws deep to Henry on the sideline. Almost picked off by Malachi. If you look here, Bearcat was open in the gap, but Mimi trying to get Henry involved early goes downfield. Third down, Mimi throws a JD in the gap right through his hands, drop, receive after punt. Let me tell you something. I love the fact that JD does his lives. I love the fact that he got energy. He shows love and support. I need JD to make a play. Let's stop all the talk. Let's stop all the jokes and stuff like that. You have to make the catches in the middle. I think JD is very important because they're going to need a guy in the middle of the field as a tight end and a guy that's not going to get a lot of attention because of this weapons on offense. JD have to make these plays. He don't, and UTS have to punt, Ghost.
And the thing about this is, listen, I've seen JD perform well when he was playing on that Don't Sleep team. He was a weapon for Mick last season, an extra target for him. So he has to bring that to this team because this team needs all the targets that they can get, especially for Mimi and how he's come out for so far in this game. So the fact that he's dropping routine passes now does not look good for their offense. You have Mimi trying to get the mojo going for this offense, and when you have receivers dropping passes, it doesn't help the quarterback in his mentality and his rhythm moving forward. But that's unfortunate for the offense here.
Ramsey gets the ball back. He throws the Bell in the gap. He runs for a decent game. Bell is involved in the offense. We always thought he's just a defensive player. Ramsey's comfortable with him, and he's getting him the ball. Second out, Ramsey throws deep to Javon open on the sideline for a big gain and a first down. No one shifts to guard him. I guess they don't understand what's going on in the field because they keep giving Javon's open releases in the middle, and the one quarterback in TFL that will throw to the same guy 100 times is Ramsey. He is going after Javon because Javon is open. He doesn't care anybody else. He's throwing to the open man. Javon impacting here. First down, Ramsey's blitzed by Red. Rolls left. He's going to shake Mo here on the sideline, running in for the touchdown. 13-0, Lou. Ramsey showing their legs. Remember, they were concerned about it in the beginning. And when they back off to sit down and say, we're going to make him throw, he uses them here, and he's able to run in a touchdown.
That was a heck of a play by Ramsey. He put the salsa move, the psych on him. Look, he looked like he was running to the sideline, got one defender, then he just took 2 steps back and left it. It's looking bad for the UTF defense. You let a white man bop you like that. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not a racist, but we know they have no rhythm. And
White man can't bop. White man can't bop.
Nah, man, that's a rarity, bruh. That's a rarity. He got him. That was a highlight right there. Oh my goodness.
On the kickoff, with under 4 minutes, so the ball is live. Mills gonna let the ball bounce, and the ball is gonna be recovered by Benny, giving the Monarchs back the ball. What is UTF doing? Listen, if you came in to lose, just forfeit, because right now the mistakes they're making is ridiculous. You're giving up a wide open place in the middle to the same guy. Then you allow Ramsey. You've been trying to stop Ramsey from running, so you've been playing him up to guard the pass. He kill you with the pass, and then now you allow him to run in the touchdown. Now you allow them to throw the ball. You don't recover it. Benny gets the ball. I don't know what's going on with this team. I don't know if they realize that this is an actual football game and it's supposed to be two teams participating. Maybe they didn't get that. But right now, it looks like Monarchs is on the field versus Monarchs. Second to go, after two incomplete passes, Ramsey finds Bell in front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Bell's going to jump and catches the ball as he cuts outside, beats the defender here. Great play by Bell, 19-0. If Bell gets involved in this already high-powered offense, they're unstoppable. They're unstoppable because you got Bell and Javon, two guys. Bell didn't really play offense last year. Javon was hurt. Now they're participating in this offense that does not have Matrix, does not have Alex. You see Malachi getting more included in the offense, and Ramsey's ability to run the ball. This team is dangerous. We didn't even really talk about Tim offensively. This team is becoming very dangerous, and now they're up 19-0.
Listen, I just got to say this. I got to correct you a little bit. You said that Bell wasn't involved in the offense last season, and that shows how quiet he was able to score his 4 touchdowns in the first 4 games. He was scoring last season until game 5. We already know what happened and whatnot. But he was already starting off strong. He was on his way to becoming an all-star on offense, even though he's a defender. So at the end of the day, that shows that these guys are so versatile that guys who are known for one position can step up into another and become a weapon. Bell's showing that he can do it on both sides, being a weapon here, and Javon being pretty much unguarded in this game. Ramsey's actually having an easier time than this defense would want, and that's why he's able to score so easily.
19. Go ahead, Luke. No, go.
Another thing with Bell got some speed. Bell cooked him on that route, and it's basically it was welcome to the UFL defender.
Yeah,
because he left him.
Yeah.
Mimi gets the ball on 4 rush, just gets past Damo, runs for a short gain, 9 seconds left. Second down, Mimi throws to Mills in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Takes us into the half, 19-0. And what's important that I want you to see, Henry is arguing on the sideline with his guys. Now, is it a concern? No, because we've seen Jeremy, who was a part of UTF, do the same thing. But when you have the guy that you just traded half your team for, basically meaning you knew once you traded Jeremy, those guys was leaving. So when you got the guy you traded for arguing with your team, that is not a good sign. Break it down for me, Lou, for UTF, and then Ghost, you give me Monarchs.
UTF played horribly that first half. First of all, they had so many daggone drops. I don't know if JD hands were frozen from the Venti drinks. I don't understand. Mills with a couple of drops. Mills, aka what happens to those hands? Because he was killing them in the first half, offensively. You know what I'm saying? They're not helping Mimi out at all in his first half. And what is it, 19 zip?
Yep.
It's not looking good for them. You know, and again, like I said, Mike, who was bragging about his defense isn't looking good at all.
Go ahead,
Ghost. At all?
Listen, Mike talked about this defense. I don't know where he got his stats from, because last year this defense was 6. So it wasn't like there was a top defense last year. What they did was they was tied with 4 other teams for first in interceptions. That's what they did well. But there wasn't a great team on defense. There was 6 overall. They were 5th in sacks. So they did not have a great defense. So let's stop trying like they had the Ravens defense or Rep City's defense or PME's defense. They didn't have that. So Mike needs to stop slow down a little bit. You got a whole new team. Do not think that all of a sudden, because you got this talent, that it was going to get much better. Go ahead, Lou. Give me Monarchs. I mean, Ghost, give me Monarchs.
Listen, the Monarchs is doing what they have to. Obviously, you have this UTF defense stumbling. You have the offense not doing well. So all the Monarchs team is doing is taking advantage. They're also shorthanded where they have none of their A players, but it doesn't necessarily matter to them because they have other guys stepping up. They have Javon stepping up, playing big in this game, which they didn't really have last season, showing a glimpse of what he may give them this season. And then you have Bell showing the same start that he did last season, being an offensive weapon, knowing that he's a big defensive weapon on his team. So these guys are sitting well, and you have Ramsey performing in the same factor that he kind of started in last season, not making mistakes, taking running the ball when he needs to, taking the shots that he needs to. This team is doing on both sides of the ball everything that they're supposed to, and it's reflected in the score right now.
1-800-call Cello. That's these guys need to go get some gloves. 1-800-call Cello, because these guys can't catch, and Cello sells gloves there. So obviously your gloves don't work, your hands don't work, something don't work. Cello's on the sideline. 1-800-call Cello. Let's jump into the second half. Mimi throws the ball to Mills, cutting in the gap. That's going to be dropped, bobbled, picked off by Bell. Bito misses the tag. Bell runs it all the way back into the end zone for the touchdown. Will gets the extra point, 26-0. First of all, hey, Mills, 1-800-call Cello, because it's not working. That is a big drop, but when your drop gives up points to the other team, that is an issue. And they take this one back, 26-0. Now it's a laugh.
And listen, you give Bell an opportunity to make a play, he's gonna take it, and he's gonna dance his way into the end zone. You notice that the type of player Bell is. He's one person that shows exactly as much as he plays. So at the end of the day, this is what he does. But drop passes, there is no excuse for that. This is a routine pass for a few yards that turned into 6 points on the other side. There's no excuse for this. I don't understand what's happening. It's one thing to say, it's a new team. You know, guys are trying to get the feel of each other. But drop passes is drop passes. There's no excuse for it, especially when it leads to 6 points on the other side. Something needs to change because these guys aren't even playing like they want to be here right now.
All right. Hold on. You know, it's funny because I'm not counting, but that's at least his third drop of the game.
Yep. 1-800-call Cello. 1-800-call Cello.
If I knew how to say it in Korean, I would say it.
1-800-call Cello.
I don't think that would help him right now.
Yeah.
Extra hands maybe, but goodness gracious.
Okay, maybe get the ball back after getting the first down. He's going to throw in the middle, off target, incomplete. If you look here, Henry steps out the next play. Why is Henry stepping out? This is not looking good. He played with the Monarchs 2 seasons ago. Remember, he was suspended last year. 2 seasons ago, Monarchs drafted. We didn't see this one time. Now you see Henry stepping off the field. Second down, Mimi throws a knife in the gap for a decent game. Third down, Mimi throws a knife in the middle, off target, picked off by Timmy. Gives you Monarchs back the ball. Mimi's second interception. First one wasn't his fault, but this one was. Timmy now getting involved, getting the interception here.
And I think that there was pressure on that play because that was a terribly thrown ball. And it looked like when he threw the ball, he made it seem like it was the receiver's fault. I don't see how this is Nas's fault here. This was just a bad. If you look at how the ball was thrown, how the ball is spinning, that's not a good a well thrown ball. And because of that, the defender, which is Timmy, is able to get the ball and lead to yet another interception. I don't see which side is doing worse, the defense or the offense. Both are doing terrible, and it's like they're competing to see who can reach the bottom first. I don't understand, but both of them are looking terrible right now.
Ghost, was that the one he threw it right to Timmy in the defense and the offensive? I've seen him do that 3 times in like 3 weeks, where he's thrown it short, in front to the defender, like he's giving him a gift.
Nas was right there in the middle. He throws it over his head. So I don't know how he was trying to throw. I don't know what he was doing, but that was a terribly thrown ball.
You think maybe there's some betting going on?
After getting the first down, Ramsey throws to Benny on the sideline. Benny makes a catch through contact, getting to the 1 yard line. This is very important. I love this play. Benny getting involved in the offense. If you look here, Henry's arguing with the ref. Was Benny in bounds? What you think about that, Glue and Ghost?
I'm looking at the play, and it looks like he's in bounds.
Yeah.
Obviously, you look at the control of the ball, and you look at the feet. It looks like he gets the ball down and his feet down before he hits the cone. That was the argument that was being made on the field, that he touched the cone, but his feet was down before he was forced out. So at the end of the day, that is a catch. That is a good call by the ref. And to me, it's clearer than they made the argument for. I think that was a clear catch, and it's reflected on the call that was made.
I concur.
3rd and goal, Ramsey finds Benny in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. End of the game. Monarchs come away with the win, 32-0.
And I'm going to just say this, and I got to showcase this. Look at this. After the game, look at how UTF treks off the field. Like they are like lifeless husks out there. Like they're corpses that's reanimated. There's no life in them. So if this is how they look week 1, they have a long season coming, because this is terrible. We didn't even get into the harms of the team, but it seems like they even know that they have troubles right now, and it's reflected in how they reacted when they walked off the field.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I know there was some talk by one of the players how Mimi doesn't throw downfield. He only looks a certain like to the middle of the field, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Did they lose this game because of Mimi? No.
Yeah.
They gave up 32 daggone points.
Yes. And they dropped.
Mimi had what?
Yeah.
2 interceptions?
Well, 26. One was a pick 6.
Yeah. All right. So they had what? He had one interception and 1 pick 6.
Right.
And 5 drops.
Yeah.
Drops kill you.
Drops kill you
from the first game.
But I'm going to tell you this. Listen, yes, I'm not going to say this is solely on Mimi, but is there argument to say that Mimi doesn't go downfield? Yes, because this is a larger field than in BQFL, than in, I believe, LES, you know?
Right, definitely
so
LES.
At the end of the day, you have to take shots downfield to spread the defense, to stretch them out. If you have the defense able to play in the gaps, knowing that you're not going downfield, that means that there's more plays for the defense to be made. That means that there's less gaps for the receivers to move in. So you have to stretch the field as best as possible. And the frustrating thing that Henry was reacting to is that's what he's looking for. He's looking for that downfield play that he did not get all game. So at the end of the day, yes, I agree with you, Lou. This was not all Mimi's fault, because they dropped a ton of passes. But
how many in the red zone?
I believe about 2 or 3 that they dropped. So at the end of the day, yes, this is not Mimi's fault, but at the end, but also
I get what you mean, though.
To stretch the field, because
Right.
it makes things a lot easier for himself
Right.
and a lot of the offensive receivers to get in the gaps. So
Without a doubt.
it is what it is.
Mhm.
Lou, what you thought about Monarchs?
Monarchs look good. Ramsey, what? Did he throw an interception this game?
No, he did not.
No, he didn't. He played. Look, it was funny because, I saw him before the game, and we talked, and he's looking forward to having a good season.
Yeah.
After the disaster from EHS. Winning a chip in UFL, then looking horrible in EHS, and then now coming here to defend his title. The team is looking good. And remember, their 3 picks weren't here.
Yeah.
That's big, because those are 3 good receivers.
This is my opinion. First of all, I'm going to go and tell you about UTF. They're in trouble. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I'm not buying none of this stuff about Mimi, because they knew this was their guy, because they didn't even announce it.
Yeah.
They kept it a secret. They didn't want to tell nobody. They ain't say a big thing. So to me, that shows that they didn't have 110% faith in him. Because why would you not announce that? But you put publicly that you're looking to trade Jeremy. It was public. Okay. That's first of all. Second of all, you knew what you was getting when you got Mimi. You knew you was going to get a pedal to the metal. The problem is Mimi is not the top dog on this team as he is in Sauer. Sauer I trust is what Mimi says. Mimi owns Sauer. So it's technically in Mimi I trust, not on UTF. Now, when you got Henry, who's better than Mimi, not when you have Kai that's better than Mimi, it's not going to go down. So now Mimi has to get accustomed to getting the ball to them, which is why he made mistakes trying to get the ball to Henry. Henry is a downfield receiver. Mimi is not a home run guy. Not going to work. Kai is a great route runner, but the quarterback has to be patient enough for the receiver to run his routes. Mimi is a pedal to the metal guy, so he's already looking at his second and third read. So now Kai's not getting the ball. So now you got these mistakes going on with two of your top receivers that you got to run up the score on people. That's why you got them. You got these two guys to run up the score on people, and they got the wrong quarterback to do that. That is not Mimi's style. Now, Sal fits in because Sal goes over the middle, Sal's in the gaps. That's who will fit in. And they miss Sal and Femi not at this game. Mm-hmm. Now, defensively, there is no excuse. Yeah. There was miscommunications, miskeys, and the question was, can Henry lead this team? That was the question. We seen Henry lead Carver's defense, but Pams and Chuck run that team. Henry has to be the leader of this team. When Henry got drafted by the Monarchs, he did not have to do that. He just had to fill his role. Now the responsibility go against a team that already lacked leadership. Yeah. Now Henry has gotten injured. We saw the post on social media. We don't know how long Henry's out for. So now this team is even in more trouble. I heard rumors that it's a possibility that they may be trading for a quarterback, which I heard a rumor that they'll possibly be trading for Corey. We will get into the next game on how Untouchables did with Slash and throwing. But somebody threw in the air Corey getting traded for Sal. Now, I'll be frustrated if I'm Sal because this will be the third time Sal's been traded. Yeah. You know, he got traded from he went from primetime over to LES over to UTF, and now it'll be UTF over to UTB. So if Sal keep getting traded, something's wrong. But that's what I heard. Do I believe it's possible? Mike drafted Corey. Yeah. But Corey declined to play that season. He forfeited that season. So Mike released him, got Jeremy. The rest is history with the championship. But that doesn't mean they don't think in the back of their head, Mike ain't looking to get Corey. But it's bigger than just your quarterback. You need to find an identity for this team. We have no idea who this team is. So that's why they're in trouble, especially now that Henry is injured. I need Kai to step up. If you look at the offseason, Kai said, I want to show what guys want to get me. Ha, 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 ha. Then I need you to make some plays. I need you to go and say, listen, I'm a quiet guy, but I need to be involved in the offense. I need the ball. We need to run this type of defensive scheme. They need to do some things because this is not going to work. And by the energy, the first game and this blowout, this team's in trouble. On the other side, Monarchs. Monarchs, regardless of what Rep City did, regardless of what Street Fam did, Monarchs is still the best team in the Eastern Conference. They're still the team to beat. Ramsey scored. He got stopped his first time and then scored on his next 4 possessions. Next 4 possessions, he scored. He found Javon. He ran one in. He threw one to Bell. He threw one to Benny. No interceptions. This team is dangerous, and they did not have either of the draft picks. Now, we're not going to bake them a cake because they played a bad UTF team. This team, since last season, they look like an expansion team this year. That's how UTF looked, like an expansion team. So we're not going to give the Monarchs a cookie, but for the fact that they played this well and the quarterback did not make mistakes, and the fact that they did it without their drafted players, is something to be reckoned with. Tim had an interception, but Tim wasn't making all these plays around the field. And guys like Benny, Javon, Bell, they all stepped up. So when your secondary role players can step up, it makes this seem that much dangerous. And that's a great win by them. Y'all final thoughts before we wrap this game up.
UTF is in trouble. Very much so. Like you said, looking like an expansion team. If Henry has to worry about his health first.
Correct. That's
what's most important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without him, it's going to be tougher for them because now the other guys that came there, like Kai and the two goats, don't really have to stay now. That you know what I'm saying? Like you got, I'm keeping hope alive. Let's see, but it's looking bad.
Ghost,
like you said, we're not gonna give you the Monarchs a cookie. You know, I don't know why you always focus on giving them cookie of all things, but
I'm a cookie guy.
Yeah, I noticed that. But at the end of the day, they did their job. They got their first win, and they beat a sloppy UTF team. You know, different UTF team. So one, I don't want to hear the rivalry thing. That's done. We don't want to hear that topic. That topic is already, that book is closed. So it's no longer a rivalry. This is them playing a new team, a bad team right now. But they did their job. Ramsey looks good. As a quarterback, that there was rumors that he was supposed to retire this season and he wasn't coming back. He comes to defend that title, and this is a good start for this season. And good to see, you know, Damo, all of these guys back, Bell, Malachi in the squad, Javon performing well. So things are looking good. And it may look better knowing that their A players may be coming back later in the season. So it's the only way that they need to be trajectorizing themselves is up at this point.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. 32-0. Monarchs beat UTF. Last point I want to give. If Henry's out significant time, then that'll be as disastrous as Aaron Rodgers getting hurt for the Jets. Why? They traded their whole team to get Henry.
Yeah.
And for Henry to go down, this team is in very much trouble. You might call it a season because I don't think Kai could be the next guy to step up and lead this team. I'm sorry. I've not seen that. I'm not talking about the talent, but I've never seen anything that's Kai. Show me as Kai as a leader, and it's all going to fall on Sal's lap, and Sal didn't show up the first game. So that remains to be seen. All right, guys.
Quick recovery for Henry.
Yes, our prayers are going with Henry. Everybody say he's good. You know, he was out of the hospital, but the key is, you know, when will we see him back on the field? We're going to wrap this one up. Monarchs coming over with the win, 32-0 over UTF. We'll be right back.